Welcome to YogiMe. My name's Hannah. We'll get going in here in a second here. Hopefully you guys have seen or heard that the gym is reopening starting on Friday, and we'll be doing some live classes next week. So check out the Facebook page, the Fitting Wellness Facebook page, and or the website for more details on that. Personally, I won't be there, but I'll be getting married this Saturday, so I won't be there next week. But after that, I'll be right there with you guys. So we'll just get started here. Well, for this one, let's get started just laying down on your back. You can lay down flat on your back with your hands out to your sides, palms facing up. If this is uncomfortable, you can always bend your knees, knock your knees together, maybe bring your feet out a little bit wider. That way everything is supported, all your joints are supported, nothing's floating out there. We're just going to take the first few minutes of class and just check in with our bodies. Bring some awareness to the present moment, how your body's feeling at this particular point in time. So as you're checking in, start to bring your awareness and your attention to your breath. Not changing anything yet, just noticing. Ready, start to deepen your breath. Inhaling for 4 counts and exhaling for 4 counts. And keep your breath spilling free. It's not pausing at the top or the bottom of your breath. Letting your breath be fluid and nice and deep. Breathing deeply isn't something that we do naturally, and the only way to do it is to think about it, to draw your attention to it. And as you're becoming hyper aware of these small, gentle movements of your lungs, try to keep that same mentality throughout class today. Just staying mindful, taking everything at your own pace, always asking your body if this is okay, and listening to your own body and not to me. Ready, start to bend your knees if you haven't already, and draw your knees in towards your chest, and use your arms to give yourself a nice tight hug, pressing your spine down on the mat. So keeping your sacrum connected with the earth. And then bring your hands out to a T, out like airplane wings. Bring your shoulders down on the floor. And then let your knees fall over to the right side. Trying to keep your shoulders down on the floor. You can always use your right hand to either guide your knees down or to give them a little support if they're floating. And when you're ready, bring your knees back up to center. And with your arms out to a T, let your knees fall over to the left side. Broadening your chest and your shoulders. Your knees back up to center. Bring your hands down to your sides, palms face down, press gently into the mat. And then reach the soles of your feet up towards the ceiling. You can straighten your knees here if that feels okay. Otherwise, you can always keep your knees bent. You try to keep your ankles right above your hips. Pressing the heels up and drawing the toes down. And when you're ready, bend your knees. Hug your knees into your chest. And start to rock and roll the length of your spine. Give your spine a nice little massage until you come into seated. Plant your hands. And then we'll come into plank pose. So step your feet back to the back of the mat. Wrists right underneath your shoulders. Engage your core. And then pulling up from the hip creases, reach your hips up high, coming into downward facing dog. And start to find your pose here. Maybe spread your hands and your feet a stable distance. Using all 10 fingers to press the mat away. You can always keep your knees bent. Spine and draw your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Start to bend your right knee. Sit your right knee down on the floor below your hip. Turn your left foot so that the outside of your left foot is firmly planted. And then start to reach your left arm up towards the ceiling, stacking your shoulders. And opening up your chest. And take a nice deep inhale as you broaden your chest open. And then exhale as you reach your left arm over your left ear. Pulling your left fingertips away from your left foot. And making sure that left foot has a nice firm connection with the ground. Your left hand up towards the ceiling. Open your chest as you take a nice deep inhale. Then exhale as you set your left hand back down on the floor. Reach your left leg up. And then reach your right hand forward. Drawing your right fingertips away from your left foot. Keeping your left arm a little strong. And breathing. And then inhale as you lift your limbs a little bit higher. Exhale as you set everything back down. Tuck your toes underneath and lift your hips up high, coming into downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here as we reset. Bend your left knee, set your left knee down on the floor. Turn your right foot so that it's firmly planted, and then reach your right arm up towards the ceiling, stacking your shoulders and opening up your chest. This is a little hard on your left wrist. For any reason, you can always come to your left fist. Inhale as you open up your chest. And then exhale as you reach your right arm over your right ear. Drawing your right hand away from your right foot. Keeping your right foot firmly planted. Then inhale as you reach your right hand back up towards the ceiling. Exhale, set your right hand back down on the floor. Reach your right leg up. And then reach your left hand forward. Drawing your left hand away from your right foot. Keeping your head down. And lengthening. And breathing. And inhale as you reach your limbs a little bit higher. And exhale as you set everything back down. Tuck your toes underneath and lift your hips up high, coming back to your downward facing dog. And resetting. You can always keep your knees bent. Ready, look forward, bend your knees, and start to take some baby steps up towards your hands, towards the top of the mat, until you come into a forward fold. You can let your head and your neck dangle, let your arms dangle. Your knees can be bent. And gently start to sway side to side, maybe walking your the right, and pausing for as long as you want, and then walking over to the left. You do this a couple times. Keeping your neck nice and soft. And walk your hands back to center. Bring your hands to your shins right below your knees and lift up halfway. Glance up and lengthen everything possible here. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale as you fold forward. And bring your arms out to a T. Bring them nice and wide. And then start to lengthen everything possible. So lengthen your spine away from your tailbone. Lengthen your arms, stretch them nice and wide out to the side. Lengthen your legs, crown of your head forward, your neck. And then on an inhale, start to hinge from your hips coming up. And then reaching your arms up overhead, maybe leaning back a little bit for a back bend. And then exhale as you come diving back down to your forward fold. Inhale up halfway again. Exhale as you plant your hands to the floor, step your feet back into plank. And then when you're ready, chaturanga, lower all the way down to the floor, keeping your elbows hugged in to your torso. Untuck your toes. And then straighten your elbows just until your body tells you to stop, keeping your thighs down on the floor. Just a baby cobra, nice and gentle. Keeping your buttocks soft. Shining your heart forward. And exhale as you tuck your chin, or touch your chin to the floor, tuck your toes, and then push up to plank. Then lift your hips up high, downward facing dog. And take 5 breaths here. And then look forward, bend your knees. Take a step or a hop to the front of the mat. Lift up halfway, inhale. Exhale as you fold forward. Bend your knees and reach up. Stand up, inhale. Exhale as you swan dive forward, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale as you plant your hands, step your feet back to plank. And as you exhale, lower down to the floor. Inhale as you come up to your cobra. Shine your heart. Exhale, touch your chin to the floor. Tuck your toes and push up to plank position. Lift your hips up high. Downward facing dog. And take 5 breaths here. And one more time, look forward, bend your knees. Take a step or a hop to the front of the mat. Lift up halfway, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees and reach up. Inhale. Exhale as you fold forward. Lift up halfway, inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back to plank and chaturanga, lower to the floor. Inhale up to cobra, shine your heart. Exhale, touch your chin, tuck your toes, push up to plank, and lift your hips up high, downward facing dog. Should be nice and warm now. You can take your 5 breaths. In down dog, but it's okay if you drop your knees, come into child's pose. And then when you're ready, reach your right leg up to the ceiling. Start to bend your right knee and open up your hips. Stacking your right hip on top of your left. And then bring your right knee, bring it scooping around so that you tap your right knee to your right elbow. And send it back up long. Then tap your right knee to your left elbow and hover it there. And bring it back up, right leg up, three-legged dog. And then bring your right foot in between your hands, step it through. Plant your left hand and reach your right arm up to the ceiling as you stack your shoulders. Coming into a little baby twist, you can always drop your left knee down. Opening up your shoulders. You can look up to your right hand. And then bring your right hand to the outside of your right foot. Keep your chest and your torso where it is, maybe leaning your chest on your right thigh. Then bring your hands out to a T and start to lengthen, reaching your hands higher than anything else. And then see if you can come up to Crescent Lunge without dropping your hands to the floor. So reaching both hands up towards the ceiling, squaring your shoulders forward, squaring your hips forward. Crescent Lunge. Drop your shoulders down away from your ears. And then bring your hands to the floor to the inside of your right foot. And then maybe drop your left knee down to the floor. You can always keep your left knee up. We'll come to lizard pose. So you can keep your palms planted, or you can drop down into your forearms. Just find your own personal pose here. And then when you're ready, bring your right hand to the outside of your right foot. Tuck your left toes underneath. Lift your left knee if it's not already there. Plant your hands and then step your right foot back to meet your left. Come into plank pose. Then lift your hips up high. Downward facing dog. Reach your left leg up towards the ceiling. Bend your left knee. Open up your hips. Stack your left hip on top of your right hip. Just sweetly stretching and opening. And then bring your left knee to your left elbow and tap and hover. And send it back out long, three-legged dog. Left knee to right elbow. Tap and hover. And send it back out long. Left foot steps in between your hands. Clench your right hand and reach your left leg up for a twist. You can always drop your right knee down. Start to open your chest. Look up to your left hand. Hand down to the outside of your left foot. And again, keep your torso where it is. Reaching your arms out like airplane wings. Bringing your left chest to your left thigh, or maybe even hovering it, reaching your hands higher than anything else. And then without touching your hands to the floor, so you can come up to your crescent lunge. Reach both hands up towards the ceiling. Keep your shoulders down away from your ears. Squaring forward. And then bring your hands to the inside of your left foot, to your lizard pose. You can stay here with your right leg fired up, or you can drop your right knee down. You can stand your palms, or you can lower down into your forearms. Drawing your right thigh down towards the ground. Sending a few breaths to your hips. Tuck your right toes underneath. Press into the mat with both hands. Lift your right knee up, and then step your left foot back to meet your right, so you come back to your plank pose. And then lift your hips up high, coming back to your downward facing dog. And then reach your right leg up to the ceiling, and bring your right knee and tap it to your left elbow and hover it. And let's see if you can straighten your right knee. Turn your left foot so that the inside of your left foot is on the mat, and reach your left arm up for fallen star. And then when you're ready, bring your left hand back down to the mat. Bring your right leg up, three-legged dog. And then step your right foot up in between your hands. Lower your left knee. Walk your hands back towards you. So you bring your right toes towards you for a half split. Try to bring your forehead to rest on your right big toe. To encourage a little bit of lengthening. Then rebend your right knee as you walk your hands forward. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee. Plant your hands. Step your right foot back to plank. And we'll take it through a flow. So chaturanga, lower to the floor. Inhale to cobra. Exhale as you tuck. Bring your chin to the floor. Inhale, back up to cobra. Exhale, bring your chin to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Keep your buttocks nice and soft. And then bring your chin to the floor. Inhale, last cobra. Shine your heart forward. Exhale, chin to the floor. Tuck your toes, push up to plank. And lift your hips up high, downward facing dog. And take 5 breaths here. And then reach your left leg up towards the ceiling. Bring your left knee to your right tricep. And hover. And see if you can straighten your left leg. Turn your right foot so that it's planted. And reach your your right hand up towards the ceiling. And then whenever you're ready, Bring your right hand back down to the floor. Bring your left leg up. Three-legged dog. And step your left foot up in between your hands. Drop your right knee and tuck your right toes. And start to walk your hands back towards you. Bring your left toes towards you. Or a half split. To encourage that lengthening, think about bringing your forehead to your left big toe. Your hands forward, plant your hands, tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, and step your left foot back to meet your right, coming back to your plank pose. We'll bring it through a flow, so chaturanga, lower to the floor, inhale to your cobra, should be nice and warm. Exhale, chin to the floor, tuck your toes, push up to plank, lift your hips up high. And as you take 5 breaths here, reach your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Let your heels fall down towards the mat. Press into all 10 fingers. Bend your knees. Sit your knees down on the floor. Cross your ankles deeply. Come into a seated position. And bring your legs out in front. Bring them nice and wide as they'll go. Then start to walk your hands forward, right down through the middle. And if you would like to, you can grab onto your shins or to your feet, to your knees. You can always keep your knees bent if that helps. Keep both feet flexed, toes pointing up. Round your spine, walk your hands back towards you. Bring your hands underneath your knees to lift them up. And bring your knees in together. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees out wide. And bring your heels in, close to you. You can grab your hands, interlace your fingers, and bring them underneath your feet. Think about bringing your knees down towards the floor. And you can stay here, or you can start to hinge forward and fold over your feet. And start to round your spine, coming back up to seated. Bring your hands underneath your knees. Close your knees like you're closing a book. Round your spine. And lower all the way down to your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice little hug. And then bring your hands down to your sides, palms face down. Bring the soles of your feet back up towards the ceiling. Press your heels up and your toes draw down. And then begin to lift your head and your shoulders up off the mat. So you look down towards your navel, lift your hands a foot up off the mat. And then drop your right leg so that it's about the same level as your hands. And then try to reach your nose up to your left knee. Reaching your hands forward. And then reach your right leg up towards the ceiling. Drop your left leg so that it's about the same height as your hands. And then again, try to reach your nose towards your right knee. Engaging your core. Drawing your hands forward. And then reach your left leg back up to meet your right. Bring your hands up towards your toes and reach up. Using your abs and your core. Reach, reach, reach. And then release. Bring your head and your shoulders back down to the floor. Bend your knees, hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. And then bring your hands and your arms out to a T. And then again, bring your knees, let them fall over to the right side. And if you would like to, you can look towards the left. Encouraging both shoulders down to the floor. Sending a few breaths to your chest and your shoulders. So gently opening. Then bring your knees back up to center. And then bring your knees, let them fall over to the left side. And if you would like to, you can look towards the right. Ready, bring your knees back up to center. Give yourself a nice little hug. Draw your hands down your shins and grab the outsides of your feet with your hands. And bring the soles of your feet up towards the ceiling. Bringing your ankles right above your knees. Bring your knees apart so that your torso has room to fit in between. And then draw your knees down in towards your armpits. If your feet are far away, you can always grab the backs of your thighs, and it's the same thing. Just gently opening up your hips as you reach your legs above your heart. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Let it go. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. And then release your feet. Give yourself a nice tight hug one last time. And then bring your legs out, stretch them so that you're laying flat down on your backs. Again, if you want to bend your knees, you can bring your knees together. Just finding a nice, comfortable position here where you don't require any effort to keep you in this pose. And you can start to check in, releasing anything, any gripping or tension. Maybe check in with your jaw and the space between your eyebrows. Let your shoulders feel heavy as they draw down towards the ground. Notice the points in your body that are connected with the ground. And just let the floor support you as you remain in this restful pose for a few moments until I call you back. Start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Take any movement here that feels natural to wake your body back up. And then whenever you're ready, however you want to get there, we'll meet in a comfortable seated position. Stacking your spine, maybe tucking your chin. As you inhale, start to scoop your arms up overhead. Bring your palms to touch. And then exhale as you bring your thumbs to heart center. Thank you for spending this time with me today and sharing your energy. The light and love in me honors and acknowledges the light and love in you. Namaste.